Welcome back to Mik'd. Today is Monday, September 29th. Hope everybody is feeling okay. Tough weekend if you're an LSU Tiger fan. The game was not great. The game did not go how everybody hoped it had gone. I'm not going to sit here and say, be super positive, Mikey, but I'm going to be a little positive. A lot needs to be fixed. There needs to be. You've got to be more efficient on offense. All of those things are true. But at the end of the day, it's one game. Every team in the SEC will have a loss this year. Every team.
You have to, right? Or you don't.
You don't. Technically, Alabama hasn't lost a game in the SEC. Alabama has some tough opponents that they have to play on their schedule. They went to Georgia, right? Was it at Georgia?
At Georgia. Yeah.
It was at Georgia. They beat Georgia, right? Ole Miss has to go to Georgia. So there's going to be other teams in the SEC with SEC losses, right? So season's not over with. The playoffs are still there's still an opportunity to get to the playoffs, but you're not going to get there the way you played on Saturday. Defense, I thought played great. All things considered, being on the field for 80-something plays, 50 plays in the first half. At that point, you're just beat up, right? And you're on the field. It's an up-tempo offense. That's tough, right? I thought the defense played well considering how often they were on the field. I thought the offense was horrendous. Nussmeier's obviously not healthy. I know everybody's sick and tired of hearing about that. It's not an excuse. It's just the reality of what's going on. He is not healthy. You didn't have your number one running back out there. There obviously wasn't trust in the other two guys behind him. You had a little success with the short horizontal passing game. Went away from that. That's the conversation Jared and I were having off air. There's a lot of things that were perplexing through the course of the game, right? You had a 7-3 lead, and you're going down to score again. Nussmeier makes a bad throw. Turnover. Takes points off the board. And after that, it felt like it was a big-time shift in the game, and they were never able to get back in that situation until the second half. We're going to talk all about that throughout the course of this show. We're joined by, obviously, producer Lloyd. He seems like he's sick and tired of talking about this, but I'm going to make him talk more about it. He's our insider. He's got all the information. Look, he's mad. Look how mad he is. I know. We're going to get there. We're also joined by...
If I wanted fucking politics, I would watch the news.
We're also joined by our two-time national champion, once in football, once in baseball, first-round pick for the Chicago White Sox. Played center field left-handed, played quarterback at the esteemed Westgate right-handed.
You still got eligibility?
I would love for him. Listen, go out there and run. Just run. Just go out there and just run around, slinging around. I bet you he could throw a deep ball. I know he could. I've seen it. He could throw a deep ball. We're joined by Jay Mitch.
How's your oblique doing, sir?
Well, I don't think it's oblique.
How's your knee?
I don't think it's an oblique.
My knee and my oblique are fine, but to see the way these hamstrings are set up, I don't know.
For real.
You've learned the fake hamstring though. Just get two of those things and let's go. We're joined.
I can get you something in the quick game though.
That's it. They
got plenty of that.
We're joined again by all SEC linebacker Cameron Vaughn joining the show, talking defense, talking ball, talking running game. Obviously, as a defender, you're very well aware and knowledgeable about what good running teams do against a good defense. Obviously, the defense has played well. We're going to get into that conversation. Bye week couldn't come at a better time. A lot of things need to be ironed out. A lot of people apparently need to get healthy. You get South Carolina at home, and then you hopefully get back on track. But there's a lot to talk about. Obviously, after a loss like that, and after a performance that way, like if LSU went out there and played really well offensively and lost the game at the end of the game because it was a good game and just the way it happens, I think people could swallow that. They did not do that. And so now when you have a game like that, you get a lot of conversation around the program or from the fans of back to the BK, what is he doing? How come he can't figure it out? Back to the offensive coordinator conversation, rightfully so. Back to the offensive line conversation, rightfully so. I don't think it's a one thing. I don't think one fix is going to fix the whole thing. Is this fixable? I don't know. I don't think it's unfixable, but there's got to be a shift in mentality. There's got to be a shift in mindset. There's got to be a shift in what you're trying to do in a identity that you have on offense, and we don't have that right now. Not saying that you can't find it. Not saying that you can't figure something out in this bye week. You have the talent. You have the ability. You've got to figure out how to be more efficient offensively and play complementary football, which is the buzzword this week, because defense has been good, offense has not been good. But there's a lot of conversation to be had about that. I want to start with Jared. Jared, give me your take on the weekend, what you saw, what you didn't like. Obviously, there's not much that you probably liked.
Man, I honestly really feel like you wasted what could have been a very good defensive performance. I think you left a lot of meat on the bone. It's kind of tough to ask more out of your defense when they're on the field in the first half alone for 49 plays. Kind of tough to ask even more out of them when you only try to run the ball 9 times in the first half of the game. So there was just so much in a situation where you knew going into the game they didn't have a great run defense. You got a chance to watch them drop 8 almost every time you drop back to throw a pass, and you still refuse to say, hey, let's run the football and get ourselves into the game that way. And when I say run the football, look, there's a multitude of ways you can do it. Now, we know about the East-West pass game. We know about maybe, zone plays, stretch plays, all these things you can do. There's so many different ways you can do it. I feel like you missed opportunities to do that, to put them on their heels, to make them be better at what they're not good at. And I also think, too, when you watch Nussmeier throw the ball right now, it still doesn't seem like he wants to or can push the ball down the field with any power and with any accuracy and with any conviction, honestly. And so with those things being the case, it was tough to watch them continuously try to push it down the field, when those are the things that seem to be happening with Nussmeier, and with the situation being around you what it was. I felt like you put the defense in a tough spot all game to be able to play and keep the score at a minimum to allow you to play. And I just thought there was just so much more that you left on the bone in that situation, and you left there with a 5-point loss when it should have never been that situation. I feel like you were the better team going into a situation where if you played the game how you should have played it, man, I feel like you win that game easily. It's a head scratcher to me, because I said on Friday before I wouldn't have been surprised if they would have left there with a 10-point win. And you just didn't do the things you needed to do to actually have that happen, and it was disappointing to see that.
Lloyd, do you have the video clip of Nuss compared to last year's deep ball compared to this deep ball?
Yes, and this is courtesy of one Garrett Nussmeier, obviously.
Well, it's not courtesy of Garrett Nussmeier.
Well, somebody had to do it. But Preston Jones put this together. Preston Jones used to date my cousin. They didn't make it.
They didn't make it.
R.I.P.
Yeah,
it's tough.
I used to remember the name so much.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good dude.
He was a fan, evidently.
Yeah.
It's tough.
She married some 65-year-old man. It's all right. Well, get the bigger ring. I'm just trying to get one ring for LSU. That's all I care about. Can't happen. But here is Preston Guy, not Preston. Shout out PJ. But here's Preston Guy's.
So this is last year's South Carolina. Whenever LSU was making their run, obviously to come back in the game. Notice it's a noticeable difference.
This one looks like fun.
I mean, that's flicked out there on the money. That's not.
And he'll slow it down for you right here.
And just watch the front foot. Like, it's coming off and back. He's not healthy. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what's not healthy. But this does not look the same as this. And you had a guy on the second throw that was more open with more room to let it go than you had the guy on the first throw. The first throw was elite. The first throw, you had to get it in there with some velo before the safety got to him and before he got to the sideline. The second throw, the guy was beat by 5 yards, and all you had to do was lay it out there for him to go run underneath it, and you couldn't do that. And I think, obviously, Nuss is capable when healthy. He is obviously not healthy. But that goes to what you were saying, Jared. I mean, that's an obvious example of him not being the same and not being able to get the ball out there.
Yeah, I mean, we watched him last week a couple times kind of overthrow balls or double clutch on balls that it felt like he just didn't have the willingness to pull the trigger the way he had. If you watch him throw right now, he's nowhere near as arrogant in terms of throwing the ball as he has been in the past. Right. I don't know if you go back 2 years and he got in situations against Southern and you were like, boy, he don't care. He just letting that thing sling. And you're like, you need him to have a little bit more responsibility if he's going to go out there and play. Right? Obviously, Jaden finished out the way he finished out that year, with a Heisman candidacy and now how he did all that stuff. So that year went that way. But then last year, you watch him come in, and he's the starter, and he's just letting it rip, and he's real arrogant. And I mean that in a good way, honestly, about the way he's going to throw the ball. Because you're used to seeing quarterbacks that don't have much experience where you got to kind of push him. You got to try to push him to say, hey, I need you to do a little bit more instead of trying to be so much of a game manager. He was completely the opposite, right? And then you come into it and you watch him throw this year, and it doesn't – the way he's letting it go – doesn't say I'm trying to manage. It looks like something's not right, and that's how it feels like he's out there throwing right now.
Correct. And look, whenever you're not right throwing the football, right, you want to be able to do something to help him, right? And that is running the football. They obviously haven't been able to do that. That's been very well documented. They've tried to do it in different ways, which had some success, but then they went away from it. And if you're someone who just looks at the stats, and you're saying, let me go look at the box score, and you go look at all the yards that LSU's defense gave up, you're like, oh, well, they didn't play great. What are y'all talking about? Why aren't you complaining about the defense? Because I thought they did play well. I thought they were on the field for way too long. I think that they got exhausted, and they got exposed because of the type of offense they were going up against and how long they were on the field. And I want to bring that to you as a defender and as a linebacker specifically. When you're banging heads all the time and you're on the field for that long, how difficult is that for you as a defense to continue to play with the type of energy? And
you can't.
It's impossible.
I mean, it's impossible. I mean, it's physically exhausting. And now maybe Jared wants to argue me this, but I think it's more energy expenditure playing defense and playing offense, right? Because one, I got
zero arguments.
All right, appreciate that. But I mean, when you're thinking about it, like you especially that's why you sub out defensive linemen, you don't sub out offensive linemen, right? So as a defender, you have to anticipate what the offensive guy is going to do, and you have to engage him, and you have to get where he doesn't want you to get, and then you have to disengage and make a play on the ball typically after that too. So it's physically exhausting. So to be on the field that long in a game, I mean, I don't know what the stats on that would be, but to play more than 80 games, I can't imagine. I mean, a defense play more than 80 plays in the game. I can't imagine those teams win very often.
You had 50 in the first half.
50 in the first
half.
Right. Part of 100 plays against you.
So that's crazy in itself, right? Go ahead.
No, I was about to say, you got to add the other part, too. Like, this isn't just the normal 40. They ran 49 plays in the first half. It's not a normal 49 plays. They don't even let you sub because they go fast. You literally have the same personnel on the field, which makes it that much worse, like you're saying. Now, you got to think about it. As a receiver, I could run a go ball, and if I run 3 in a row, I'm probably tapping the top of my head. I'm telling you, get the next guy out there. That same corner's still on the field.
Yeah.
And
he ain't coming off the field.
And then it's disheartening.
He's got to chase the next one.
It's disheartening too, because then let's say we get a 3 and out. Let's say we go 6 plays, or we do whatever we do and get the offense back the ball. We get a turnover. They got a fumble. They got a turnover that resulted in 0 points. So the offense goes out there and they run a couple plays and they punt. And it's like, damn, what do we got to do?
Yeah. It was not good. And as a defender, right? I thought Pete Golding called it a great game based off of what LSU had and what they were going to do. He said, hey, we're going to drop 8 in the coverage, and we're going to force you to dink and dunk. We don't think you can throw the ball over the top. And if you're not going to run, we're gonna keep doing that. Prove to me that you can get us out of this. And they never did that. They never made the adjustments on trying to combat what the Ole Miss defense was doing. And as a defender, right, like I want you to talk a little bit about the running game, right, on the offensive side. So if you're defending that, right, as a defender, and you're dropping 8 in the coverage, that should say, okay, they should be able to run a little bit against us, correct?
Correct. I mean, you would think, right? So you got 5 offensive linemen. If only 3 defensive linemen are rushing, you should be able to find a seam there. But, I mean, LSU really wasn't even attempting it.
Well, and the 3 defensive linemen were getting pressure.
They were, yeah. They were really wreaking havoc with 3 defensive line on the pass rush scheme of things. But when it comes to running, it's like we know as a defender at that point, you're one-dimensional. I can play pass 100%. So my defensive linemen can run. They can run picks. They can run T-games, so on and so forth. Linebackers are playing pass first so they can get underneath the receivers, make it difficult for you in that regard. Once we know that you're one-dimensional, like it's over with, which is the whole point of everybody's talking about we want to have a balanced offense, this, that, and the other. I mean, we hear that coach speak all the time. But LSU really gave up on the run. They never really attempted to run. They didn't even give up on it. They never.
Let me ask you this: how do you fix it?
I don't know if they have a significant run personnel. I think we talked about it a couple times already when I was here. They get 0 offensive line push on the run game. Their running backs are not. There's no Leonard Fournette's, Ali Broussard, Joe Dyes. There's no dogs like that that's going to bust through tackles and all.
Don't talk to my heart like that.
I think they need to. So they need to switch up their run scheme, and they got off weeks maybe throw something in there. I would say they would look better doing a outside zone type of scheme, right? So if you have your offensive linemen who are not used to firing off anyway, they're more reach blocking, they're more moving sideways and laterally. You get offensive linemen. I mean, you get a running back with some vision that can then just find a hole at that point, right? You get the ball in his hands. He starts out wide. He looks for a hole. He can cut it back potentially. But if you get the defense moving laterally, and you can find a seam because everybody's moving laterally at different speeds, you can find a hole somewhere.
Let me ask you this: can you change that in the middle of the season?
That's more of a Jared question, but potentially. I mean, they do run a bit of an inside zone currently when Durham's in there, and he tends to cut it all the way back across outside the back. So it's a similar concept. It's just on a wider scheme. You're typically not going to cut it all the way back.
Is it as simple to say that they just don't trust, whether it be Nussmeier not being able to step into that throw, or Caden Durham, which you've seen, they've made a huge point of it, of him cutting it back as opposed to keeping it on the track, or you just don't trust your offensive line at all?
I was going to ask that actually to y'all and to Jared of his throwing. Maybe he is. We keep saying he's healthy, he's over his oblique. Maybe he is healthy and he's just afraid of getting hit.
He pulled that leg out because he didn't want to get – Bradley Moore's getting pushed back right into his lap.
Exactly. So if you're looking at a guy who's trying to go into the league and get drafted, somebody might be in his ear, don't get hurt. Don't get hurt. That's the worst thing you can do right now is get hurt. So that's what he's thinking about. So in practice, he may look great because nobody's going to touch you in practice. He may be on a dime at practice, but once there's live bullets and somebody could actually hit him, he's pulling back. He's trying to get hit. He's trying to get hurt.
And this is really the first time that we've seen him have, like,
the yips.
Be afraid of that, right? Which I think it's a combination of that, like being pressure at his feet, and I think I don't think he's healthy.
Interesting you bring that up because his agent is also Brian Kelly's agent.
Yep. Mm-hmm. We found that out on the SEC whatever the show was on Netflix.
Rohan Davey gave me the same look. He goes, "I don't know if that's the way that's supposed to work."
Well, I tell you, if Nussmeier don't figure it out soon, you're gonna have Brian Kelly's agent looking for him a new job.
No doubt.
Let's get that Jamarcus Russell contract.
I want to ask you that same question I asked to Cam. Cam says, okay, maybe they changed the running scheme. Is that possible to do middle of the year?
So, I mean, like, look, if you're used to running a lot of inside zone, outside zone is a little bit of a different run. I will say, and I don't know this for sure, you definitely need athleticism at the offensive line position to be able to reach and run and do those things. How well they do that, if they've tried that much, if they feel that comfortable in doing that, I don't have the answers to those. I just know a lot of times teams that are really good at inside run, not to say that they don't have outside zone. I mean, inside zones, not to say that they don't have outside zones. Teams that are good at outside zones, they run that predominantly. And they have the personnel on the offensive line to match that and run that. And that's kind of just how it goes. So I wonder if that's it. But once again, I think that there's something too. If y'all remember a couple weeks ago, we were sitting here saying I'm not sure if Caden is hitting these holes the way he should. And then just think about, I want to throw something at y'all too. If we want to sit here and just kind of like talk about the offensive line, we can also think about what we're talking about, Louisiana State University. Go back to a time where that running back room wasn't filled with complete dogs, right? One after another. And when I say that, and I'm not trying to talk bad on anybody, but I'm just telling you, take what is being given to you at face value of you giving it to you. Name me a time where the person that's going to get the lion's share of the carries out of the backfield didn't even play running back in high school.
Right.
Didn't come here as a running back. Name me a time in LSU history when you remember that. So I think something like that alone is telling you what's going on in that room right now. Harlem Berry is going to be a very good player here. He's still a slider guy, and he's got some learning to do, right? Obviously, we all thought Caleb Jackson would pop at least 2 years ago, and that hasn't really happened yet. So when we go down with the starter and we start giving the carries to the guy who's never played running back and just started really playing it, I don't know, maybe in game 10, 11 last year, right? And was still pretty much doing DB stuff. They didn't really switch him until spring ball or fall ball this year, right? So when those things are the things that are happening, that's telling you a lot about what's going on in that room. So if that's the case, and you're gashing them with some of this East-West stuff, and you're gashing them with bringing the Zavion Thomases and the Berrien Browns into the backfield and trying to manufacture that run game, why don't you continue to run that? Why did we get away from that and think shot plays on first down and pushing the ball downfield was what we needed to do? I'm not saying that none of those things were there in theory, but if you know your quarterback's not where he needs to be, whether it's mentally and or physically, and you don't have that kind of thump in the backfield right now, we got to find ways to keep that defense off the field as much. Because I don't care. I mean, Cameron can tell you this. I don't care how good your defense is. If I keep throwing you out there and you got to play defense that much, and especially if it starts to be playing from behind, I promise you, dude, every defense, the cracks are coming. Because when you're playing from behind, too, then people start to try to do a little bit too much more, especially as they get more tired and have to do more and play more plays.
Jared, I agree with you on the. I mean, they came out with the the swing passes and the screens. I think they were running them beautifully, and they just kind of all of a sudden stopped. So, but my question is, how did they get in that position where they don't have the running back depth or the running back power?
I guess they had a couple get, legal issues. So last year you had Holly, who's at Southern.
Who's going, right? He's going.
Yep,
right?
he's at Southern. And then you have Lindsey, who they brought in from Alexandria as a freshman, who got caught up in his own legal
Seventh most
situation.
dangerous city in
Yeah,
the world.
friends-
That's where I'm from,
friends-
baby.
Friends put him in a bad situation.
Yeah.
So now they're kind of handling that.
Yeah.
And so now you're left with three running backs, one who has been a disappointment since he got to LSU, which is Caleb Jackson. I'm not trying to trash the kid. He just hasn't lived up to the expectations that everybody had for him. And you had Caden Durham, who came in as a preseason All-SEC type running back. He's been banged up. He wasn't in the game. So that left you with Harlem Berry, number one running back in the country, but freshman, and probably needs to gain a little weight and some experience. And then Jawan Johnson, who's a transfer.
Yeah.
Not transfer. He's a quarterback slash wide receiver slash defensive back slash, okay, I guess you're going to be running back now guy. And so, you lost Logan Diggs. Well, that was 2 years ago, right, in the portal. So, you don't –
Scored a touchdown.
And they had to see him Saturday.
And they had to see him Saturday score a touchdown. So, to answer your question, it hasn't been good.
I'll say this, too. For all intents and purposes, and kind of similar size-wise, not much difference, but imagine a Russell Shepard being your number one back out the backfield.
Right.
Yeah.
While he was there.
I mean,
That's kind of what you were running with.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a good example. It's a good example.
Yep.
Okay, all of that, when you say all of that, you can't really change personnel unless you get Caden Durham back, which I believe you'll have Caden Durham back for South Carolina. Which he had
better.
He had a great game, obviously, last year against South Carolina. It was kind of his coming out party. You have him, it fixes a little bit because now you have a guy that you can handle, you feel comfortable handing the ball to 20 times a game if you have to. But without the personnel, what do you want to see them do offensively to be able to combat the issue of not having the guys behind Nussmeier run the football?
Listen, they've talked a lot about how deep the receiver room is and how many guys they got in that room. If you go back to the Louisiana Tech game where they did it a whole bunch, then you have to start trying to manufacture the run game by using the scat back type guys out of the backfield. Finding ways to get them carries, continuing to lean on that east-west passing game and take those 5 to 8 yards that you're getting out of those plays and continue to move the ball like that. I think that's at that point too, and we've talked about at that point, you got to understand you're probably, if this is where we are and we don't have a healthy quarterback, which I don't want to speculate. I'm just going to say it doesn't seem like he's healthy. They're not telling us that. They did tell us 2 weeks ago that Friday before the Florida game was the first Friday that he's practiced this season, so he's not taking those days off. I think that means a lot because, like Cameron will tell you, that's a nothing low game. That's a nothing low type of day anyway. So if we're needing to take those off, that tells me we're not probably where we need to be health-wise for the game. But anyway, you go back to it. If that's where we are in the quarterback room, if that's where we are at the running back spot, then you understand this at the moment right now is probably going to be a very high octane, high scoring offense. So if it's not going to be that, you still need to find a way to stay on the field instead of continuing to put your defense on the field and try to win ball games like that. Try to win dog fights that way, and I don't feel like they did that. It almost felt like they tried to get lucky, hit a couple of them over the top, and maybe we could play out in front, play from ahead, and now we won't be in this situation. And it didn't work out that way, which at the end of the day, that's really hard to do on the road in the SEC.
Correct. Now, if there was one bright spot over the weekend offensively, and this is stretching a little bit,
Zavion Thomas?
I like Zavion Thomas, obviously.
Your punter?
Your right tackle got hurt before the game, who's been also much maligned, right? Hasn't really again, I think he's going to be good, but he hasn't been great this year. And we've been asking to play Karius Kern, who is a highly touted athletic freshman, and he hadn't played a ton of snaps. You didn't have DJ Chester available. And so he slid in there, got his first start, and I thought he played great for all things considered on the road in an environment where it's going to be hostile and they want to beat you against a good front four that they have. I thought he held his own really well. They had some clips of him getting off of the football and actually getting some push, which you haven't seen consistently this year. And so if you're gonna look at a bright spot, I think that is one of the bright spots that we saw offensively. And that's tough when you're talking about a right tackle who played great. I mean, it wasn't like he was an All-American out there, but he was good. I would consider that a bright spot.
Yeah, he definitely wasn't a hole or anything like that. I mean, there was nothing gaping or anything that was like they were obvious. Ole Miss wasn't trying to exploit him and we'll attack this guy and whatever. So he definitely held his own. So shout out to him.
And to get called into action like that with 22 minutes before the game.
I'll say this.
I wasn't going to play.
I'll say this. Sometimes that's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't think about it too long.
Sometimes that's better. Like, hey, you're in. Like, oh, shit. Okay. All right. I got to figure it out. And, you don't have time to think. You just kind of have to, use your instincts and react. I mean, there's been times where – and it's not the same. Baseball and football are not the same. But as far as being ready, there's been times where, hey, you have a day off, and the guy that's playing gets hurt in the first inning, and you got to go out there and you got to go cold turkey. Sometimes those are my best games because you're just like, fuck it. I
haven't thought yet.
I just got to figure it out, And so sometimes that's the best case scenario for a guy, especially a young guy, when they don't have an opportunity to kind of think. You just go in there and go. Yeah. Really no expectations, and I thought he handled himself pretty well. Now with the bye week we have, right? You have 2 weeks to prepare for South Carolina.
BK needs that like he needs air.
That's what I was about to ask. In the bye week, one, how important is it when you're kind of banged up and you're coming off of a loss this way, right? And two, is there anything you can do over these 2 weeks to help remedy the issues? I'm not saying fix them right away, but see some sort of positive progression.
Yeah, I think defensively, generally speaking, they're pretty good. I think they got a little sloppy toward the end. Tackling wasn't as crisp as it was earlier in the game, but I can see how they're exhausted. So they may have to work on some kind of conditioning. Or what they could do is really work on getting their backup linebacker really up to speed, right? Because we talk about the depth when we're playing Florida, right? Rotate more of those guys in because obviously this offense is going to put you in some binds. They're going to have you on the field a lot. So if you can get some fresh legs in there, so if you have instead of a 1 and a 2 at linebacker, you can get a 1 and a 1A, save some legs, get some energy. That can go a long way. Same thing with your DBs. I think there's a lot of defensive back talent, right? So if you can get switch some stuff out, get a formation get a defensive personnel where you got 5 DBs and sevens out there playing star
Yeah.
or playing spy or something like that. So he's not in coverage. He was in coverage the whole
That's
game.
what you said was
which
gonna happen.
Crazy, especially if you got a quarterback that had the ability to run. Now you got older weeks in there, and
Yeah.
he stood no chance.
Yeah.
You couldn't make them tackles in a phone booth.
And how much of a difference does it make if you're on the defensive side to where you go, they start going tempo, you can't shift, you can't bring more personnel in? Because LSU is deep on the defensive side, but once they saw something, they got them in a look that they wanted, and it was go time.
Yeah, it's tough, man. Your defensive linemen in particular, right? Because they're dragging. They burn a lot of energy nonstop. So those guys can no longer get any push. It gives the quarterback tons of time to sit there and do whatever he wants, which then in coverage, we talked about that before too. I mean, covering somebody is hard, right? So now you're playing man coverage, and you're trying to chase this guy around the field for 4 seconds, 5 seconds. It's almost guaranteed that somebody's going to get open at some point.
Now, look, the issue is the offense. It's not the defense. I'm very happy with the defense, but if you can nitpick on the defense a little bit, the defensive front four or the defensive linemen have not been able to get a ton of pressure on opposing quarterbacks. A lot of the pressure comes from the the blitzes and bringing extra guys, right? Like they're not getting a ton of penetration in the backfield. Like if there's something that you can really, nitpick. Obviously Relaford going down was not great because I think out of all of those guys on the front 4, 3, whatever they're running, I think he was probably the best pass rusher of the group. Obviously, getting hurt with the shoulder is not great. Have they announced if he's having surgery yet or not? He is having surgery?
Out for the year.
So he's out for the year.
He's out.
Was that?
Yeah. I mean, I was like answering your question. I mean, we spoke about this to start the year. Cam will tell you this is as true as it gets. But in May, and once again, I mean this respectfully, do we expect to hear any of those guys called on day one of the draft?
On the defensive line, no.
On the defensive line?
No.
Okay, so with that being the case, we're basically already saying that there's a good chance that we're not going to get home with just rushing 3 or just rushing 4.
Right.
There's just probably a good chance, right? So I think they've done a masterful job up until this point, if you want to call it up until this point, because I think they were just left out there way too long last Saturday. But up until this point, by only giving up 10 points a game and getting the pressure that they did by bringing 5, maybe even 6, like they've done a masterful job. And they've been able to do that because they've been good on the back end as well. So I think they've done good. I don't really know if there is much because I think a lot of the times when you're seeing guys get home with 3 and or 4, the majority of the time you're looking at the guy and you're looking at who's standing in that spot and you're like, oh, okay, well that's why. Because they got this guy.
Yeah. Yeah. And Ole Miss did that to LSU.
Ole Miss did it. They did a lot of T games and picks with the defensive lineman. That's big. But I mean, LSU could do it. They could show some blitz and pop out, and then confuse your offensive lineman up, and give somebody an opportunity to get a one-on-one where it wasn't expected. So I mean, they have the ability to do it, but they love the pressure. So typically, they're gonna come with at least 4. But they could. I mean, if you can get an extra guy back in coverage, that pays dividends for sure. So they can find a way to get more pressure with those guys. And they got Kyle Williams is their D-line coach now, and he's a technician for sure, right? So I mean, he's gonna coach those guys up, give them a little time.
I don't think we're ever gonna find out what the injury actually is to Nuss. But if he's not, I mean, look, 2 weeks. Maybe these 2 weeks is great for him. Maybe he's gonna be healthy by next week, by next weekend. But if he's not, and I hate saying this because I love Nuss. And I think when he's right, he's great. But if he's not healthy, do we look at
benching him,
making a change? Do we look at adding a package for Van Buren? Like,
I think you've invested.
Do we look into that?
You've invested far too much.
I don't know. We're backs against the wall. I mean, legit, I would say Brian Kelly's job is on the line. They lose 3-4 games, miss the playoffs. I don't know if he's here next year. So
they'll find $61 million somewhere.
Yeah,
I don't disagree with.
They always find the money.
Yes, you piss them off enough.
Yeah,
because they found the money for the roster.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Right.
All right, this is what you want. This is what you're gonna get.
So, but I don't know anything about LSU's back.
He didn't find the money for the roster. The money for the roster went to Michigan. He said, "I'm gonna play quarterback here instead."
Yeah, right. I mean, that's a legitimate question. I mean, what do you think, Jared?
I do think it's a legitimate question. I do think this 2 weeks, because Cam touched on it too, I think this 2 weeks is their best friend at this point. I think health, more than anything, is what they really need. They obviously need it at the quarterback position. But I do think the opportunity for them to find 2 deep and 3 deep that could possibly step into, and this won't be a long-lasting thing, but you have 2 weeks to prepare for the South Carolina game. The opportunity to find multiple guys that can step into roles if someone goes down, I think that's how you really need to attack these 2 weeks of practice. You really need to find these, 3 and 4s and these multiple guys that if someone were to go down, I know that they can step in and play this role and they can do it adequately. I think that's going to be huge for them. And with that being a part of it, Nuss has got to get healthy, man. Like I don't know if they can do what they need to do and be who they need to be if you can't get health, or at least health in what he's hurting with now, to get to the right spot. And I keep saying this, like I want people to understand, like, we don't have the injury report in terms of what's really going on, but it seems to be very clear that something's not right. And I don't tend on the side to think that it's just mental. I think something physical is not right with him.
No, I agree. I mean, I think it's more physical than mental. I think the physical part makes the mental part suffer.
Yeah, I agree. And I think Jared touched base was before the show, but we're not there at practice, right? So we don't know what we're getting shown at practice, how the backup looks at practice, and so on and so forth. So, everybody always likes the second string quarterback's always the most popular guy on the team, right? It's like, oh, we want him. So, be careful what you wish for. But, they do got to figure it out. There's only so long they can go, underthrowing balls. Because the schedule only gets harder, right? We're going to get deep into the heart of SEC competition. And it can get ugly.
The way they're playing right now, they're probably going to be underdogs on the road in Nashville.
Yeah, I think they're already. Yeah, I think they're already were, right?
At Vandy,
it's fair to think that. Yeah,
I'd imagine they're going to be favorites next weekend at home. But then, if nothing changes, if you don't look at them next weekend and be like, okay, I can see some progress there. They're going to be underdogs on the road against Vandy. Vandy's kind of a wagon right now. They're putting up a ton of points. They invested in their defense. That's just kind of the reality of where we're at right now. Sure. It's not a.
Let's tell the truth. We're going that far. You could be going into that game with multiple losses.
Correct.
I get it. They've done what they've done this year so far, but that's the same kind of South Carolina team that last year at the end of the year people thought they had a legitimate gripe to being in the college football playoffs, right? Like they were right on the outside looking in. Maybe this is when they start hitting their stride as well. So you put yourself into it now where it's one loss they got. So I'm not trying to make a big deal about it. It's probably more so how it's happened and how it's looked offensively to this point that gives you this, oh, wait, I wasn't expecting this. If we were going to sit here with one loss to this spot, this is not how I saw it happening. And so, I think when you're thinking about where they're going to go and how they're going to get there, that's what's starting to give you a little bit of backup. Because, like you said, Vandy's got a good team. They have a very good defense. They can score points. But guess what? South Carolina can do the same thing. And if you're not going to score, if you can't do that thing in 2025, especially in the SEC, man, it makes it hard to win week in and week out here. It just does.
Well, if you're not able to sustain drives offensively, I don't care how good your defense is, they're going to give up yards and points.
For sure.
So it's like, oh, well, they have a good defense. And you go look at the Les Miles days, and they played really good defense, and they didn't have an explosive offense. Yeah, but they at least are able to run the football, and they're able to, shorten the game a little bit offensively, and your defense wasn't left out to dry. They're left out to dry this past weekend. That has got to change. You've got to figure out a way. You don't have to be the most explosive offense like you've been the last 3 years. But you have to be average. You have to be decent enough to where you can put up 20 points and you're not allowing a team to run 50 plays on you in one half.
Yeah, absolutely. As a defense, I think you got to expect if we can hold a team to 20, we should win the game.
Yeah.
Right? Your offense got to be able to score 21 for sure, especially when you're giving them the ball. I think, they had 2 turnovers. Did LSU score off of either one of them? I don't think they scored off of either one of them. So it's like, bro, we got you extra possessions and we still can't get points.
Oh, you can go look at the Florida game. You got to do 5 extra possessions.
Yeah.
You're right.
And you can score.
And one of them scored a touchdown for you.
Yeah, so I give you the ball back
almost
4 times.
It almost happened again I almost texted everybody as it happened. I was like, "There's the breakout play." We talked about it. I was like, "There's," and then it obviously was pass interference. I'm not
obviously.
I'm not disagreeing. I say obviously because they called it.
Yes,
but I think it was pass interference.
Sure.
But I do agree with Jared. When you look at the play, the receiver was not going where the ball was.
He wasn't. No, there was no way he was catching it.
He wasn't catching it. Now, if you look at it, obviously there was some hand fighting. The hand was on the shoulder pad. I can understand them calling pass interference, but it's unfortunate because I think that if he just doesn't have him, he had him covered perfectly.
Really well. Yeah.
He tried to throw a back shoulder, and the receiver had no chance of getting it.
No. And that's the problem with watching.
I would have leaned more to them calling defensive holding more than pass interference in that situation. Like, I thought part of pass interference was there had to be somewhat of a catchable ball. I don't think he was going back to try to catch that ball. He wasn't anywhere near that spot. I think DJ had eyes on the ball and played the ball better than the receiver did in that situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
How is it my fault that you threw a bad ball?
Right.
No, well, that happens all the time too. You see a receiver beating a DB and the ball is short, and he comes back for the ball, and the DB runs into him and it gets flagged.
Right.
But I think on this play,
he wouldn't even turned around.
Watching it in slow motion too, it just makes it look worse because I don't think it was all that. It certainly wasn't going to be caught anyway.
Right.
But I think he was really just trying to swim over him, get his arms positioned to catch the ball, and when you slow it down that much, you can see every little grab and this, that, and other. So I don't know. The momentum of the receiver's already going away. I think he was really just trying to swim over him and make a play on it.
You're a defensive guy. If that's an offensive player trying to make that same play, they're not calling offensive pass interference.
Oh, never. That's a rarity.
Yeah.
But they I will say they've gotten better in the last couple of years of calling pick plays.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Which is great for, obviously, for y'all, especially linebackers trying to get caught up in the middle. But they're not going to call offensive pass interference unless they see full extension.
Legit extension, yep.
Yeah, they're not going to see it. Like, you can shuck the guy, and they're never going to call that.
Another question for you. You got me back in. I hate this.
I love that you're back
I
in.
know. I can't.
I almost threw the football at you.
I wanted to make sure we had a little buzz going on over here, but we got that figured out. But, LSU's the drug.
Not the buzz that you like, though.
No, I want another one real bad. I'll start heroin here in a second. By week, I got a week. When your defense is doing what it's doing and your offense is doing what you're doing, when does that locker room start to rift?
Ooh, I think that'll probably depend on the personalities.
It depends on wins and losses too.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah.
I think
and now you got to know.
Ultimately on wins and losses.
Wins cover up all smells, right?
Yeah. Never heard that.
Yeah.
But I think it kind of depends on the personalities that are in the locker room. And I would like to think
there's dogs on that defense.
There's enough of a. I hope there's enough of a rapport that it wouldn't go straight to anger and rage or whatever. It's more of a conversation that needs to be had between some defensive captains and some offensive.
But you said it. You're like, how many times can we get you the ball, bro?
Dude, because I've been there, right? So you're sitting there and it's like we sit down. And it's like, punt team, get ready. No. I was like, I just sat down. let me get some
and
water.
I got you the ball.
I was like, hold on.
Cameron, let me ask you this: if it is that, like, I'm once again, because we don't know, if your quarterback is hurt, how much of the defensive side of the ball is how long is the defensive side of the ball say, hey, like, we got to do more because he's hurt, or do they ever get to a spot where they're like, hey, man, like, if he's this hurt, put the backup in? Like, is that a conversation that goes on?
I think it's definitely you got to do more, right? So if your offense, regardless, if your offense isn't performing, like we've been there before, it's like we got to get this ball back. Hell, we might have to score. We got to do whatever it takes to put some points on the board here because the offense ain't doing it. So you definitely feel the pressure to do more when the offense ain't performing. As far as, I don't know, I've never called for a backup to get in. I don't know if I've been in the locker room or that's ever happened, but I could see it. Maybe somebody goes to Baker and is like, yo, you gotta talk to them over there. I think that'd probably be a better approach to it. But again, it's all personalities. I don't know any of those guys that are in there, so I don't know how their relationships are and how what the vibe is. But you got to think that. I mean, you spend some. You've been there, so you know how much you bond over camp, regardless of even the people you don't really like that much, right? There's 150 people on the team, so you're not gonna like everybody. But there's a mutual respect, generally speaking, across all of it, especially when you got the starters and the big time players. So I mean, hopefully there's some conversations going about what's going on, what can be done. And so, especially this week when it's got a little get right time, but we'll see how they come out. I guess in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
Because my thought goes to this too when you think about that is what number does Nuss wear again?
18.
18.
They usually don't give that to the guy that the team doesn't consensusly like rally around, right? And so with that being the case, you know that he is, the guy on your squad. He's your quarterback. He's your general. Everyone's rallying behind him. But let's just say he's not right for whatever that is. I think if you got the right kind of locker room, which I suspect they do, is those guys rally around that for a long time. Now, with that being the case, though, if his injury, it's like, all right, I don't think a lot of people jump off the train, and I don't really think that that's kind of where they're at or where they would go, but it becomes, like you said, it's how many times do we have to keep going out here without having the other side basically hold their end of the bargain? Because I think at that point, you get a lot of guys when it becomes long games or long periods of times where that's the thing, well, you get a lot of guys like trying to maybe do a little too much. Because if I could make this play, we get these points, we get the ball back, maybe we score a touchdown here, and instead of being on the field for 10 plays, we're off, and maybe we scored. And you get guys trying to do just a little too much. Maybe if I put my head in this gap, I can make this play when it's really, don't just do what you need to do. We get off the field when we get off, and our offense is going to take care of it.
Right.
So like that becomes like the thing that starts to snowball, and you could turn any really good defense into a marginally lesser defense just simply off of not playing competent offense.
100%. I mean, that's doing it. We're going to have to do more. When in reality, they don't need to do more. They just need to keep doing what they're doing, and the offense just needs to be better, right? Because if everyone starts trying to do more than what they're supposed to be doing, and you're going to be out of position, and you're be giving up some big plays, and nothing's going to be good at that point.
Yeah, agreed wholeheartedly. But I mean, you definitely, like I said, you feel that pressure a little bit, and I don't know, they need to get it right. And I think, to your point about him being number 18, does that hurt them in regard that if he is hurt, the coaches don't want to bench him because he's supposed to be their guy, and then maybe he feels like he's got to just play through it because he's supposed to be the guy. So could that him wearing 18 be?
It creates a lot, man. Yeah. It creates a lot of outside unnecessary stuff that in my book I don't love. And this is kind of one of the reasons, like we went through this a couple years ago. I think Lloyd's mentioned it a lot. I don't even remember the kid's name.
Jonathan Giles.
But when they gave 7 away and, within games they took it away and he's no longer doing this. Like, you just create outside situations that I'm not sure needs to be there sometimes,
Yeah, 100%. I don't.
I mean, you did this, also.
What?
Yeah, you can't say nothing against
shit.
Yeah, I don't want to hear shit from you. You can't get in on this at all.
And it's right behind him.
I was gonna say, for the reasons you've talked about, like obviously leadership stuff, 18, getting all that. I don't believe that there's going to be a change because of that. I do believe that he has the ear of the locker room. I do believe that they rally around him. I do believe they believe in him.
You can't tell me that Chris Hilton and Barryon Brown are going.
They are not happy, no doubt. No doubt. They're not happy.
I came here to get drafted, motherfucker.
Correct.
I think Chris Hilton's got 4 or 5 catches on the season.
Yeah.
He got 4 or 5 pass interferences. Because you can't throw it to me.
Who's got that on their bingo card at this point? Yeah. No one.
They're definitely not happy. Like there's no doubt about that.
Get me the ball.
Listen, the only thing that I can say and the only thing that I can give any type of positive whatever is hopefully these 2 weeks.
Yeah, okay, you and Brian can go have a kumbaya.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, like...
It is what it is.
That's the reality of it is, like, he has got to get healthy, and hopefully if he can't get healthy in these 2 weeks...
No, he's healthy.
He's not healthy.
He's on the other side of it.
He's not healthy. He's not healthy.
I'm just telling what the coach told me.
I understand. He's not healthy.
I'm trying not to be a panicker and an overreactor. It's one loss. They lost by 5. So they were generally in it. They
lost by 5 and not playing great.
Not playing well at all. I mean, Ole Miss had a lot of. Actually, I think LSU had more penalty yards. Ole Miss had more penalties.
Ole Miss had more penalty yards.
Ole Miss had more
penalties.
They had more penalties for sure. But I thought LSU had some bigger
more
ones.
Turnovers.
Yep.
But so I mean, we'll see. Maybe it was a bad week.
90 plays too.
Yeah, that's what you can't say
crazy.
shit to me if I'm on defense.
That's crazy. But maybe it was a bad week. So we'll see.
That's
what
what
I'm
they
hoping.
look like.
No,
That-
but
they are who they are.
That I agree. Look, I was like to paraphrase Dennis Green, they are who we thought they might be, and hope that they weren't. we were hoping they weren't the people we talked about. I mean, because realistically, like we talked about, we don't know who's good until October, probably mid-October, because LSU's wins are a 1-3 Clemson, a 1-3 Florida, a 3-1 La Tech that they beat by 10. And then a win over an FCS school.
Right.
That's who we're working with.
You're right. They haven't played the competition. They haven't played well against anybody.
And they haven't blown anybody out except for Southeastern, who I got a letter in the mail.
Right. But I mean, look, there's. I think after next week, and look, you have to win. You don't have any more room for error. I mean, you could probably lose 2 games, but you can't lose the games like you lost them now. But if next week is as miserable as this past weekend was, there's a change. There has to be a change.
And what would that be?
Changing the quarterback.
I didn't know if you're going to go coordinator.
You can't. Changing the quarterback.
They already tried that.
Now what I think Brian Kelly takes over the play calling duties.
Oh, he's going to have to go to work?
He did it last year. Listen, that's another conversation. I personally, as a person, like Joe Sloan a lot.
Cool.
Like, I know it doesn't matter to you. And so I'm saying that to say Brian Kelly took the play calling duties away from him last year.
Why'd he give him back?
And he gave it back to him. So, it felt like that was all tied to Underwood.
Yes.
And then Underwood. So there's been conversations and stories out. T-Bob was on an interview, had a clip today saying that he knows from.
They made it very clear that he knows exactly what
very
the fuck
clear
happened.
knows what happened. Basically, Brian Kelly went to Denbrock and said he wanted to make Joe Sloan co-offensive coordinator with him. Denbrock did not like that, and he left and went to Notre Dame. So now you have co-OCs
Notre Dame
between
just put up 60.
Co-OCs between Sloan and
Cortez
Hankton, right?
And no Underwood.
If y'all go back and y'all remember too, because we talked about this a lot at that point, where we were like, the narrative around why he was going back to Notre Dame was because he was closer to his family,
right?
And blah 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 blah. And we all kept saying, man, like, he's a lifetime coach, man. Them dudes don't go home to coach.
Right.
Like, they're used to doing this. They live life like this, and that's what they do. So it's like, why would you go there when you don't have a quarterback situation, when you got a guy that you've been working with, although he hasn't played, and you think he's a really good player? You got a guy here. Why would you go there in that situation? And so that didn't make sense either. We talked about that a lot when that whole thing went down.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation because
listen, hear everything.
You're not going to change the offensive coordinator in the middle of the season. I guess you could,
who else is on staff to give it? I mean, you made Cortez Hankton the co-OC,
right? I mean,
so he didn't leave because he got called by the Los Angeles Rams,
right? I guess you could make a change in the sense of, okay, I'm going to take over the play calling duties again. But if that's the case, he's gone at the end of the year.
Well, ain't no recruit to keep him,
right? Like, you don't. I mean, you have a couple quarterbacks, but here's the deal: if you go hire a good OC,
I mean, if Colton Nussmeier comes here, he's on crack.
Who?
Colton.
Hey, first off, time out. You got to think about this. And here's why I don't think that's going to happen, unless you already know that the one that you're getting is a legitimate upgrade and probably has some sort of a relationship with the quarterback class you got coming in. You're going 2 years in a row without having a quarterback.
Right.
You make an OC change and he's no longer here. There's a good chance you may lose the quarterback you have and are either trying to get committed in this class. You can't go 3. It's already a rule with them. You need probably 1 a year. So like that in itself is also putting them in somewhat of a conundrum of how do we deal with the OC, if that even is on the table, if that even is a conversation that's going on behind doors.
And we have to get to the point of having a conversation about what is the relationship between Garrett Nussmeier, Joe Sloan, and Brian Kelly. Because Joe Sloan is clearly running an offense that does not suit Garrett Nussmeier, but, and this is not me saying this because I saw 10 of 11 against Southeastern, Van Buren looked very comfortable in a dual threat style offense, and you have to have a consideration of Why are you putting Garrett Nussmeier in the situation to run RPO, to run quarterback choice when he doesn't do it?
Oh yeah, he's not.
But he runs the same plays.
But are you saying so it doesn't suit him because he won't run the ball?
I'm confused.
Yeah, so that's. I guess me and Jared probably have the same thought.
You keep saying I'm confused. Yeah, I'm confused where you're getting that one from because I really don't see it that way at all.
What's your thought?
We never once said, man, Garrett Nussmeier doesn't look comfortable running this offense last year when he threw for 4,000 plus. We never really said that. We just said he don't have the running element of the game in it. That's all.
But it's a huge part of what Joe Sloan calls.
I think it's a huge part of 2025 offensive coordinating.
Yeah.
Like I do.
But I don't know that they're calling a whole bunch of read option or RPOs as far as what the quarterback runs.
Exactly.
Now I didn't watch the really Southeastern game, so I don't know what Van Buren looked like. So maybe that's what I'm missing here.
I mean, he looked good, but it was.
That's what I'm saying. No, I'm not putting a lot of stock in that. I'm putting a stock into the style of offense that, like Jared said, a 2025 offensive coordinator wants to run. When if this was 2003. Guess where Garrett Nussmeier's under center. Center.
Let me ask you this: Did you see a big difference in the offense last year when Brian Kelly took over play calling duties?
They ran it more.
They ran it more, and they ran more. They probably had a better scheme, what you're saying, for Nuss to be able to succeed. I mean, Nuss's numbers, obviously the competition. I mean, the best games were behind him at the time, right? The best teams, but. The numbers were better. He was throwing it more efficiently.
They ran the ball better. Josh Williams started to play more.
If you're gonna do that, you got to play off of play action with him right now at the shot. But you've got to put him in a situation to succeed. Now, obviously, he's not like the health. If he's healthy, you got to put him in a situation. Right now, I don't think there is a situation to put him in to succeed because he's not healthy. He can't make all the throws. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the answer is. I do think that. If the offense keeps going this way in the year, I do not believe Joe Sloan will be here next year. I know the quarterback situation is a big thing of the returning guys, but you're going to have to, just like you did with Blake Baker.
Father Abraham.
You're going to have to go and spend some money on a big OC who's going to be able to go there and keep your quarterback class intact. You don't think that's going to happen?
No. Brian Kelly will kill Sloan to keep his job. Like, that's the next one. It's exactly like the Saints. Whose fault is it? Pete Carmichael. Throw him under the bus. He's gone. Like, you fire people to keep yourself sane and to keep yourself having a job.
So you're saying he's going to get rid of them?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, that's the point. When you start, you the coordinator before you get rid of you.
And to really get to the real problem.
So you get rid of you. That's why I disagree with you on that.
So you're saying Brian Kelly is the bigger real problem?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what he's saying.
But wait, but just going back, I would like to say that sometimes the quarterback runs, they're designed to look like quarterback runs, but they're not. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes he's just handing the ball off regardless. He doesn't even have the option to pull it. Now, I would like to see him have the option to pull it, or actually just call and pull it because nobody ever defends it. But, sometimes it's just designed handoff.
If you were playing against Garrett Nussmeier, are you respecting that at all?
Absolutely not.
No, and that's not a question.
But that's a problem as far as coaching goes.
That doesn't mean that the offense is a tailor for him, like he said.
Yeah.
I've run read options. There's been so many
plays
where
I'm
faking reads on the opposite, and the play was never going to be kept by me.
Right.
That doesn't mean that we're running a different offense. That means that just when you have someone who has that threat, they just show it to you. But that doesn't mean that that's part of the actual play.
And then going back to switching coordinators, how hard is it? Because let's say BK gets to stay this year to get rid of Sloan. Who wants to come be the coordinator here? Because BK is going to be on the flaming hot seat come next year.
Which
puts your job at risk.
That's another conversation.
That too, because think about it right now. Let's just say theoretically you make a decision to take over play calling after next game for whatever the reason may be. Well, now you're sitting here with a full season of basically no offensive coordinator, and if that doesn't go absolutely great, you're going to lose the class. You're going to undoubtedly have to get rid of the coordinator. It just turns into a big old shit show at that point. You run the risk of if you believe in him, he's got to stay. But then now if you're basically telling him he's got to audition for his job going forward, you may be putting the actual program in a bad spot as well.
So what's the answer?
The answer is you move status quo, and you probably try to see where you're at the end of it. Now, I know you want to save face and say, hey, we may need to do this now. Look, if you really think, as Brian Kelly, that you're going to call plays and do the job better than he is, then that means when you take over, the offense has to go to a different level. Because if it doesn't, you're undoubtedly firing him. You probably lost all quarterback and maybe receiver recruits that you got coming in. So, like, you're messing up the entire situation. Yeah. So you're either going to sit here and probably say, I'm going to keep moving, keep the belief in him, keep it going, and then if I have to whack him at the end of the year, I guess you do. But you can't make it seem like hey, you're not getting your job done. Do better, or I got to make a difference.
Right. No, I don't think they fire him mid-season. I don't think
when you take the play calling. Yeah. If you take play calling away from the offensive coordinator, for nonetheless, you're no longer the offensive coordinator, and I think everybody understands that, right? They
did it last year. If you do it again this year, it's definitely not good.
Yeah.
When did he do it last year?
After the A&M game.
Which was when? Pretty late in the season, right?
I think it was like we had 3 games
already
left.
Out of the playoff opportunity at that point, right?
Yeah. Right.
That's my point.
Yeah.
And he was year 1 as a coordinator. So there's a lot of saving face you can do in terms of saying, hey, we're going to take this, we're going to do this. It was understood that it was year 1, kind of let him do some stuff and go into an offseason. If you do that next week or after next week, you're basically saying I fired you already.
Correct. I mean, but
so then if I fire you already and the offense doesn't get tremendously better.
Right, if it doesn't get better.
So then we still may be losing games. We're probably losing recruits. So where in there would that be the good decision unless you have literally the crystal ball and saying that I know we're getting better if I do this?
Look, I don't disagree. I'm bringing the option up because I don't know. If you stay status quo and it looks like this, that's not good either. So, like, I agree
with you there. I'm just saying, like, if that is the move, like that, those are the optics or the thought process that goes forward, not just for the very next week or the very next game, but going forward through the rest of the year, going forward as you go from year to year as well.
Yeah. No, look, I get it.
They need to go back to the drawing board this week, come up with some creative offensive plays. Obviously know the run game suffering, so they have some 5-wide personnels, and you put motion Zavion Thomas into the backfield and run some kind of option or something. I mean, they got speed, so if you can spread the defense out, you got some speed on your side. Maybe you can make something happen, get some seams.
Also, Zavion Thomas ran the hardest of anybody of any of the running backs.
He did run hard. Yeah.
He ran the hardest of any of them.
Yep, absolutely.
So, yeah, I mean, you've got to –
Lloyd. That's why Lloyd hasn't said anything for the last 5 minutes. This is what he's been doing.
I mean, listen, you've got to figure out –
he's trying to figure it out.
And it's not just like, they can't run. Like, they get 0 push up front.
None.
So, like, then there's an offensive line coach question.
Everybody
wants to talk about Brad Davis.
You know what the big fix was for Brad Davis in the offensive line? Let's put our left tackle and our right tackle in a 3-point stance. That'll solve it.
It helps a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Well, it gives you the opportunity to fire the ball. And I think that happens a lot, too. You see that in NFL where everybody's running the gun nonstop. So these guys in a 2-point stance, they don't fire off ever. Right, so they're always, receiving impact and taking blows. So to come fire the ball is definitely different when you're always in that shotgun and always. So getting a 3-point stance will definitely help a little bit.
Lloyd hates hearing this logic right now.
No, it's the fact that that's an answer.
Well, I mean, it is an answer. It's just
it took 5
not
weeks.
Enough.
It's taken 2 years and 5 weeks.
It's not enough. It's not enough.
Yeah, it ain't gonna fix shit. And then. If we're going to do that, and then we're going to run the ball 2 times with the running back in the first half. Come on.
No,
listen. Why don't you get it?
There's a
Put
lot
your
of
hand in the dirt.
There's a lot of issues on the offensive side.
And then it goes back to like they're aware that they can't run the ball, so that's a problem. Because I'm looking at after the first touchdown, they get a penalty on the extra point and another penalty on the extra point. I was like,
you can go for it.
At some point, you just got to go for it. It's a 1.5 feet.
That told you.
That tells you that they don't believe in them at all.
Everything you needed to know about how the belief they had in the offensive line and we're getting short yardage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you had the ball from the inch-yard line, basically. Mm-hmm. No, we're going to decline it and just kick it.
It's like you could have did the Drew Brees just jump and hold the ball out type situation.
No, he's got patellar tendonitis. He can't jump.
Oh, he's got something.
He's got something.
Is that what we got diagnosed with? Somebody's diagnosed.
We got to figure. I'm gonna do some digging.
Please
try to talk to somebody that knows.
I'll also go back to this too, which is for me, I thought was something that was weird as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm really truly only remembering first quarter, but we got Trey'Dez Green healthy for.
He's not healthy.
One target. Yeah.
And one hold.
And
one target.
Yeah, I think he only got one.
He had one.
It was
Yep,
in the first quarter.
it was one target.
Touchdown.
Yeah,
It was one target.
And
It was
that
that
they
fluke.
threw it inside to him.
It was a bad throw,
that
and it
got
was a
tipped
fluky.
to Nic
It was a
Anderson.
fluke touchdown.
The offense is it's called the struggle bus.
Yeah,
I don't know where they're going to go. I don't know. And
I
that's
just, in my mind, I'm sitting here saying when Trey'Dez Green goes down, that if we're targeting a date for him to come back, man, I got to be cooking up some ways for him to be involved too, not just
sure.
be a decoy on the field. Then if that's the case, then we
Yeah.
probably don't. I don't know if we need him in at this situation.
yeah, they had him as an extra blocker most of the time, which is like why it's not his skill
It's not
set.
a strength.
It's like why do that? I mean, he needs to be, and then that ball to him, throw that sucker in the air. He is 6'7". He can reach 8 feet without jumping. Why throw the ball in the air? I would have him all the time. He would be my 2-point conversion play, right? I'm going four receivers in a diamond on one side, him on the other
Calvin
side.
Johnson.
And I'm throwing.
There's another thing about being 6'7" as well, man. Like 6'7" guys know how to post you up as well. They ain't just got to rebound over you.
I mean, he's legit a
Let
basketball
him use
player.
his body. Let him use the frame. Let him use him.
Absolutely.
Let him box people out to get the ball. Like let him start running the routes that match with that kind of play as well.
they
No
did
doubt.
that against Clemson. You saw it. The first touchdown
Yeah.
they caught. He boxed you out.
For sure. And that's
No, he went up to catch that. He didn't box nobody out. He went
I'll
up.
show
The
it
point
to you.
is you can literally you can make plays and throw balls in spots where he does not have to leave his feet. His frame's longer than anyone else. So if I get you on the right side of my body and I can throw balls to the other side of you, nobody's touching it because you're the long one in this situation.
Yeah.
So we don't have to just, that's what I'm saying. There's a difference between boxing you out and actually rebounding over you. Right now, we're just asking him to rebound. Hey, just run in the paint and rebound over you. No, dog, let's get him to box somebody out. Maybe we can back you down on the block. Like, start using those things as well.
Yep. That but I guess you have to get on the page on Nuss and make sure he's anticipating where the ball needs to go and all that stuff. Which I think part of the problem with Nussmeier right now is he may be pre-deciding where he's going to throw the ball. Right when you think about that pick he threw, right, there was like a post dig combination. He throws a dig, the post is wide open. And so why are you throwing it short right there? I mean, maybe because you
And
can't.
that might be because of health as well.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
usually if somebody's playing free and playing healthy, they can make decisions like this off of what they see and what they're reacting to. If not, it's, man, I'm seeing this before. I know, or I feel like this is going to be the one open. So let me make sure I get myself ready. There's no surprises and I can let it go. And it's never usually what it needs to be.
Yep, definitely.
And that's
I
where
think he's going to get better.
no, they're not.
They need to.
But they can't. You are who you are.
I disagree with that.
How are you gonna? We've asked. All we've done is ask questions with no answers.
Deep
The
philosophical
answer-
Everybody
questions.
knows what's
The
wrong.
answer revolves. Part of the answer revolves around health, which we have no.
He's healthy.
He's not healthy.
Okay,
Enough with that.
Let Lloyd go with that then. Go, Lloyd, that's fair. If that's what you want to go with, that's what you want to go with. Then if he's healthy,
He's not.
what's the problem and how do they get to throwing for 4,000 yards again? Because at this rate, you're not even going to throw for 4,000 yards. That's what they did last year when he was healthy.
Yeah, I
So
know-
how do they do that again?
Lloyd knows he's not healthy. He's being sarcastic.
No, he's not. That's my point. Because he can't answer it that way.
But
So
the-
how do we get there?
Well,
But
he's
the
just
thing is,
being-
he's healthy enough to be the starting
Is
quarterback.
he?
To be the starting quarterback, they put him out there. He's a starting quarterback.
Well,
You know what I'm saying? So either
There's a lot-
because now
So, yeah, he's healthy enough.
the step to Van Buren has to be worse as the way they have it set up right now. Otherwise, Van Buren would be in.
Also, any chance he was slightly, maybe a little bit concussed? He got rocked
I do
on
not
like the
think he was
third play of the
concussed.
game.
I do not.
I'm trying to find something for him.
Well, the something is he's
I don't think he was.
injured. He wasn't concussed.
Yeah.
Okay.
They got 2 weeks. Like he's got 2 weeks to get healthier. I don't say it because I know it's not it's not the case. He's declining injury conversation. Like I get all of that. He's got 2 weeks to figure that out. 2 weeks to see if he can be healthy. He can make the throws. He can do what he needs to do. And if he can't, there's got to be a serious conversation on you are not the best guy right now because you're not good enough because you're not healthy. Like a 70% health Nussmeier is not better than a 100% healthy Van Buren.
At this point,
And I don't know if that's the case. I don't know. I don't watch
You
practice.
gotta
You
figure
want
it
to
out.
know the
I
crazy
do.
part about that is? You want to know the craziest
You don't.
part about that is?
Have you seen practice recently?
they don't let you in anymore.
Exactly.
Here's the craziest part about that. Sadly, a situation or a decision like that, I can promise you, won't be made unless Nussmeier can't finish a game.
Correct.
Or he gets hurt, or they lose another game.
Correct.
So you're still probably in the same situation, unless because think about it. That's literally what happened with Ole Miss. You know, Austin Simmons comes out because he's hurt. He has to not play, so they had to insert Chambers.
Yep.
Or else he's not in there.
Yep.
And then they kept playing him because that was the case. So, like, sadly enough, I don't think that decision gets made unless they're in a situation where he gets hurt during the game. Sad part about it is the rest of this schedule. That's not where you want to be hurt.
Correct.
Like Ole Miss got an opportunity to do that against lesser opponents. That's no longer the case going forward.
Yeah. Yeah. And you don't have a fallback plan.
No.
We're not going to come up with the answers today. We're not going to. I wish we could solve it. I really do.
There's
nothing that we can do to solve it other than
because it's
just hope and pray.
It's an unfortunate
in the 2
situation
weeks.
for everyone, right? The confluence of errors that have happened are not great. You get Nussmeier to come back. You go and pay 17 players to come play for you. You get a new offensive line. You get a new center. The center gets hurt. You play him anyway against Southeastern. Garrett Nussmeier, you lie about it and say he's healthy when he's not. And now this is where you are. Trey'Dez Green goes down. Your right tackle goes out. And what are y'all doing in warm-ups?
That was interesting.
Yeah, that was interesting.
I think that was a cover-up as well.
Yeah,
He's healthy. He's fine. And I say that with all seriousness. I think that was a way to massage the message, if you will.
That's interesting.
maybe that's an interesting.
I'm tired of being lied to.
That's interesting.
Interesting time for them to do that.
I
want the
Jay
truth.
Bitch, what y'all do during stretch and stride that you won't get hurt?
All I know is this, let's think of it this way, Lloyd. If that sounds like that's what it was, are you showing up to practice with any kind of enthusiasm the next day? Like, are you completely lost as a player?
I'm completely lost as a player, and that's what
I
I'm
think
worried
that's probably
about.
It's probably more widespread. So it's really hard for me in that sense. If that's what you think you're going to do, and then think you're going to still have that guy to be somewhat productive for you the rest of the year. It sounds like an easy way to make a cancer as opposed to saying, let me fix a problem, if you think that's what the problem is.
Or you could go the other way and say, I'm not playing for this team anymore. I'm a 5-star redshirt freshman. This is my 5th game I'm about to play. I'm about to hit the portal.
I don't think it was
You act like that decision so easily made, especially during the year.
I don't think that it was.
I'm just playing both sides.
I don't think that was. Hey, we're gonna fake this, and this is your way of getting. I don't think they would have done that right before.
So Lance Hurd did it.
No. I don't think they would have made that coaching decision of saying, "Hey, we're gonna pull you out, pretend like you're hurt, right before the game."
I don't think you look healthy enough to go.
I don't believe that. But look, maybe maybe now that you have your right tackle and he doesn't have a spot, now he's got to figure. I don't know, but I don't think that was the case. I don't think that was it.
I think he got hurt in warm-ups.
Yeah,
it happens.
It happens.
I mean, you're making contact. I mean, fluke. You see non-contact injuries all the time, right? People just running and turn and they blow an ACL. So stuff happens.
Yep, happens.
Bad water.
All right, let's move on from this. Obviously,
I needed a Jay Johnson tweet so bad.
He got another recruit.
Yeah, but I needed another one.
He got another recruit.
Usually saves the day.
Yeah. Look, they're ramping up. They're about to start scrimmaging, so that'll give you something. Will give us something more to talk about outside of football.
I trust one person in this state.
Jay Johnson.
It's Jay Johnson.
It's just Jay Johnson. Go back. You know what I would like to see? This is
coach the football team. That's what I want to see. I just want to see what it looks like.
Why not?
His dad did.
Just why not?
Why not?
I mean,
Can't be worse.
Well, here's the deal. My personal opinion on head coaches in general. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Like, you got other people to do the jobs for you, right? You got coordinators, you got position coaches. As a head coach, just stand there and don't look like an idiot at the press conferences, right? Which was Les Miles' problem. But he couldn't. You got too involved and looked like an idiot all the time.
Well, I think you're spoiled.
Well, true. Look,
I will say this. No, I'm not even. I'm not defending him on that. I will say this. Elko made a reference to Brian Kelly, but he basically said similar stuff, just in a more eloquent way. Of they're 4-0 and they won the game, and he was basically talking about, like, hey, we're 4-0. You know, why are we harping on all of this other stuff right now? We just won a game. He goes, I know someone else said it. I'm not gonna whatever. He didn't refer to the name, but he referred to Brian Kelly.
I think it's pretty obvious as to who did that.
And so, but my point is, like, he insinuated some of the similar stuff. He just said it in a way different way.
And that's what we talked about too, because we're asking if he was feeling the pressure, right? Because I mean, you just won the game. You know these kind of questions are popping up. Like he fired off instead of just thinking, you should have a canned answer for that. Like, oh well, we got to watch the film, we got to review everything and see how it goes.
He loves to say that too.
But he was, we got to be better in different aspects.
Let me ask you this: what did you want him to say? Because people are upset about his answer of they're dropping 8 in the coverage 85, 90% of the time.
We got to coach it better.
What did you want him to say? Our offensive coordinator didn't call the right plays? What did you want him to say to that question?
We can't run the fucking football right now.
He said that.
But then that's why he got defensive about when it was brought up, because it touched a nerve.
I'm not talking about when he said you're spoiled.
No, but I'm saying that's why he answered when you say you should have a better way to answer that question. It wasn't the fact that was the first question. It was the fact that
I'm not talking about that.
He's talking about this week.
I know it. That's what I'm saying. So what more do you want him to say? Like, he can't do that again.
No, but what I'm saying is they asked him this question.
Go watch the film.
People are mad about him, so we have to coach better. We have to do this. Very generic answer.
That's fine.
What did you want him to say to that? I'm not telling you specifically. I'm talking about in general. Like, what did people want him to say?
No,
want him to throw his offensive coordinator under the bus? Like, he has to take that.
He can't win in these public scenarios because he's hated by the masses.
Correct.
Like, he had won some.
Kind of what I'm getting at.
Yeah, he had won some people over in Baton Rouge until you lost.
And then he's got to walk the line too, so he's still got to be on the team of his guy, on the side of his guys, and he can't throw his players under a bunch of.
He's got to defend us. He's got to defend everybody because he has to take the brunt of it. I'd rather him take the brunt of it and make people mad because he's not answering it the way he wants, as opposed to him throwing people under the bus.
What would you rather him say? I'll start taking more accountability in what we do in the run game.
I think it's the repetitive of the. We got to coach it better. And it's like, well, why haven't you coached it better the last 5 weeks?
That's the issue.
Coach it better now.
That's where a lot of people are having issues with
Ed
that.
Orgeron said that for a year.
Correct.
And then guess what happened?
Out. Yep.
But what are they doing though? Like the run game is just so impotent. It's like how is it this bad?
And it's not that it's bad against
it's terrible
good teams. It's bad against everybody.
Bad teams, everybody.
I'm gonna guess the exit of those two players hurt them way more than what we probably thought it did. And I really do think the depth of the room is tough, man. That's tough.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Maybe go get a running back out of the portal.
If you think about Caden's stature, like, dude, you play linebacker. You'd be happy if I told you if we sat down in the special teams meeting room. And we're going like we used to do. And we're going through the other team's roster, and we're telling you, hey, running back, Caden Durham, what is he, 5'10", probably 195 pounds. You as a linebacker, you're like, oh, shit, we eating this week.
For sure.
I'm good. I'll hit him all day. I don't care.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You'll stick your face in that fan all day, and it has nothing to do with the ability of Caden Durham. Is you're like, dude, I'm good. I don't ever have to make a business decision on, do I want to keep hitting this motherfucker or do I not? I'm good. I'm going to keep hitting him all day. You better hope he can just run away from me because I'm not going to stop.
Correct.
Like I think that's kind of the look at when you look at what the run. If that's the guy that's leading your running back room and he's your between the tackles guys, that in itself, unless you have the absolute top level of special shiftiness that literally probably says you're LaDainian Tomlinson or you're Darren Sproles or you're something like that or you're Maurice Jones-Drew. Unless you have that, man, it makes it tough for you to be that effective game in and game out at that spot. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. And their offensive line don't help them out at all.
No.
We've been harping on that for sure. It's like they get zero push. Because if I can get an offensive lineman that's going to give me a yard off the ball, and I can get a running back that's going to fall forward, there's a big difference between 2nd and 8, 2nd and 7 versus 2nd and 10.
Yeah.
So if we can just find that, it's like, man.
And then you talk about like the measurables of Caden Durham. You got somebody back there that's 6 foot, 240 pounds that can't play.
Do it.
You don't want to stick your face in that
pushed
fan.
His way onto the field, some way, somehow.
And he finally got an opportunity and dropped a wide open first down.
Well, he wasn't looking.
No, he was.
Yeah, no.
He dropped it.
His eyes were downfield, where they should be.
I think that ball hit him before he saw it.
Yeah, snuck up on him.
Well, listen, it's not good, and
it's bizarre because Brian Kelly says spoiled. And I know what he would say if he had to go to the point. It's one loss. Look, we got everything in front of us.
You've got to believe that.
But
I believe that. You've got to.
That just doesn't feel fair.
What was he going to say? Oh, season's over. We can't do anything.
Yeah, blah, 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 blah. I'm just saying, like, as a fan base, LSU fans do typically overreact to a one-loss scenario where it's like the sky's falling. This feels like
this was built up. Built up to the one loss.
Yeah, you got to rely, and that's why he said we won the game.
But listen, and
you didn't.
What did Nick Saban say? The worst thing that can happen for a team is to play bad and continue to win. Mm-hmm. So maybe you have to. Listen to me. As an athlete and as a competitor and as somebody who's performing at a high level, you have to always believe that you are going to continue to get better and it's going to get better. Because the minute you don't believe that is the minute it's over. And you'll never improve and you just might as well just not show up.
Well, also, and like you said, too, the truth in the vacuum is whether it's win or loss, like, until those situations are not available for you anymore, meaning like you've lost too much to be in the conversation, you're in the conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's how you have to approach it.
Right.
So, like, whether we ran for 10 yards and threw for 20 yards and we won 9-6, guess what? We went 1-0. We still got an opportunity to do what we want to do next week. Whether we lost 69-0 and now we got to play the next week and we still have a full schedule ahead of us and we got X amount of ranked teams in front of us, we still have an opportunity to do everything we want to do. Whether we like it or not, those are without a doubt truths. And that's how you have to approach it. Because if you look too far ahead or too far behind, you're taking away from what is right here in front of you, which is the opportunity that you still have.
Correct. Listen, before we go and move on from this, Ole Miss undefeated, Missouri undefeated, Vanderbilt undefeated, Oklahoma undefeated, Texas A&M undefeated. I can guarantee you all of those teams are going to have a loss by the end of the year. All right, nobody's going to be undefeated in the SEC. LSU, as bad as they have been playing, as bad as they played this weekend, still only have one loss, and they're in a position to be able to do whatever they want to do at the end of the season. Now, they're not going to do what they need to do if they don't make any changes, they don't make any adjustments, or they don't get better. That is the facts. That is the situation, and I am totally okay with the fan base and people looking at it and saying they're not going to get better, being negative because they have no reason to believe that they are going to get better. I, on the other hand, do believe that they have an opportunity. Do I think they're going to be the most elite running team in the country? No. But do I believe that they could be a serviceable offense? Yes. I do believe that.
Why?
And if they can play just a little bit of complimentary football, I think that they are going to position themselves to be in every single game and have the ability to win games. They're going to have to make adjustments, and that's the reality of it. And I'm going to end it on a positive note with that.
I like it. Gotta believe.
You gotta believe. You ever seen what's the show?
Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso. Gotta believe. You gotta believe. Get Ted Lasso to coach. I bet you get the team to believe.
There we go.
I would love that.
I bet you he gets the team to believe.
He can play some darts.
What's that?
I think he can play darts.
Play darts.
Brian Kelly probably sprinted the golf course today.
Okay. Let's get to the
Got a
seggies.
bye week.
Mistake of the day, Lloyd. Mistake of the day, Lloyd.
Brian. No, mistake of the day is, as the internet goes, and as I guess the NFL is the way that it is now. QAnon is coming after Roger Goodell, and this might be a real thing, where you have to worry about. I've been waiting for this to happen, but the more things change, the more they stay the same. And this is all a bit at Stavy being a, I don't know if you've seen the comedian, but he sends a message to Roger Goodell in his QAnon mask.
This is a comedian.
From Anonymous to the NFL and Roger Goodell. This is an official a communication from Anonymous to the NFL and Roger Goodell. We are Anonymous, a group of gay little computer guys that will make it. We will hack into your shit if you don't make the fucking Ravens stop being bad at football. We do not know what you have done, Roger Goodell, to cheat.
I have no idea who's going to say that.
Anonymous.
He's so upset about the Ravens, and it's true that somebody compared the stat line of I guess now Lamar's hurt, but with the numbers he's been putting up whenever Drew Brees is on the bad Saints defensive teams, where it's like, I don't know how much more you can do. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where it feels like the Ravens, they keep losing, and they're a good football team.
I know, and the Ravens are not normally having a bad defense.
No.
They are not good defense.
They're good, and they're well coached. And also, I do have a quick curtain call, because
perfect. We're getting right to it.
As we saw this all play out very much publicly between Lane Kiffin, Landry Kiffin, and Whit Weeks had a bit of a tough time on the football field. This is 6:15 left in the first. They asked how much he was affected, and Lane Kiffin had a response on Twitter, as he does, because he is undefeated on the internet. And they say, I wonder what this has to do with Lane Kiffin and Landry Kiffin. And he goes, tempo.
That's a good way to sum it up. Good way to sum it up.
Shout out to Landry Kiffin for this genius marketer, right? Let's wait till the week of the game. Let's post this, because somebody said she had like an additional 10,000 followers this week or whatever. And I was like, okay, I see you.
She knows what she's doing.
Do your thing.
It works.
Had them things bookmarked, just ready to
Just
go.
waiting. She could not wait.
Saved in drafts.
All right, my curtain call. We're the best sports time of the entire year right now. You got NFL football, you got college football, Major League Baseball postseason starts this week. Starts tomorrow. I know we haven't covered it a lot, the stretch run of this Major League Baseball season, but it was pretty wild. You had Blue Jays and Yankees obviously tied for they have the top record in the AL East. The Blue Jays won the tiebreaker, so they got it. You had the Tigers, who were up 15 games in the division over the Cleveland Guardians. Over the Cleveland Guardians. And
Still sounds weird.
what? Oh, yeah, the Guardians, yeah. And blew a 15-game lead and had to fight to become the last wild card in there.
That's the opposite of what Major League
you got the Tigers playing the Guardians and in the first round of the postseason. You got the Red Sox Yankees in a wild card series. You have the Reds, and the Reds are in the postseason again for the first time. Your Cubs are in there playing the Padres. Brewers have the top record in baseball. I say all of this to say it is Major League Baseball postseason, and it is the most interesting to me. It is the most wild postseason run of any of the professional sports teams. I mean, crazy shit happens. Pressure. Games are electric, and then you get to go watch that all day during the day. And then goes on at night, and then on the weekend you have football followed by baseball. It's just a good time of the year. So curtain call to that. Jared.
I will add one little caveat to that is we're not actually there yet. The best sports month in America is on the horizon, October. That's where everything gets nutty. You got everything going on. You will have baseball postseason, football full swing. You will have basketball. That if you like that kind of thing at the end of the month, that's where it gets. So I'm right there with you. You just got to wait a couple days for me. So, but yeah, I'm with you.
First game start tomorrow for the postseason. You got tomorrow's the 30th.
Chicago, I believe.
Reds, Dodgers, Padres, Cubs, Tigers. Damn, you got a bunch of games tomorrow. Mm-hmm. You got 4 games tomorrow. Wow. Not a lot of work's not going to be done.
You say it's the best month in American sports. I would contend that maybe it's the best month in European sports.
Hey, can we talk about that for a second? Can we talk about that for a second?
He's about to make love with the trophy. Watch. Yeah.
But this is un-American soil too, though.
Yeah. Hey,
that's the embarrassment part.
I will say this.
Yeah, cool.
I will say this.
Too little, too late.
Nope, not that. The envelope bullshit's not cool.
No, it's not.
I mean, that honestly made a big difference.
They shouldn't have ever been in that position.
I know, but had that not been the case, the U.S. are making a run. I mean, they were winning matches. They were doing things they needed to do, and the half point kind of fucked them. I think that needs to go away.
I think. How about you compete? How
They
about you
did
make
com-
a?
they did
How about you
compete.
make a putt?
That and the team the first 2 days were bad.
Everything I said was true.
Somebody break down what's going on with the crowds. I
Oh,
don't watch
dude.
golf.
Yeah.
Like, why was everybody losing their mind? Like,
Because they got a little.
They got
little much.
hammered because they were losing, and then they
And
started
so
being
they
mean.
started going at Rory. They
Started
weren't even
being
cheering for
mean.
the Americans,
yeah.
and they were hammering the Europeans. But like they got a little out of hand.
But is the Ryder Cup crowd different than
Yes.
a
Yeah,
typical?
Yeah, so like it's the Ryder Cup is
No holds barred.
and like it's golf's normally individual, right? You
Yeah,
play
yeah.
your ball, you got to try to beat everybody else. The Ryder Cup it's a team game,
Yeah.
so you have like matches. So you have
America
you know,
versus
you
everyone.
have 2 guys versus 2 guys, and it's like alternate shot, or you both play a ball and the best ball wins that. Like it's match play, so it's not about the strokes, it's about winning that one hole and then moving on.
It's for your
Right.
country.
and you're playing for pride, and so
Yeah.
it's a lot more energetic.
Well,
The fans are rowdy.
shit face.
Yeah, that was
like
wild. the stuff I was
rowdy,
seeing.
and then you see a lot more emotion. That's why the Ryder Cup's so much fun for everybody to watch, is because you don't get that during the golf season,
Mm-hmm.
and
Except for the Open, the waste management.
except for the
Yeah.
waste management, but like that's still individual. You don't
But it's
get
not
like that
team. It's not team.
yeah. And the crowd got a little much probably.
That seemed like a lot for a
I
golf
mean,
for a golf
it was-
crowd.
Well, Rory is the perfect target, but it also is funny how much he doesn't play well when it's individual, just golf. But when it becomes the Ryder Cup, it flips a switch in him, where he turns around.
All the
doesn't-
Europeans do that.
I know. Said
You did. You said it. They played better team golf than the
But you
Americans.
would-
Now the Americans, when they played, they all had to play individual matches. They actually played very well.
because not team. They're.
I mean, Scotty Scheffler's not good.
I don't know what happened.
Not good in the team format.
He should be though. He
I
would
know.
have. But what I think for Scotty is that he's not used to having to rely on somebody else. I would
Correct.
rather put myself.
If I get myself in trouble, I know I
can
can get myself
out of it, and so it takes him out of the way that he plays golf. And Tiger was the same way.
Yep, yep.
Where like I'm not very good in the Ryder Cup format. Individual, like see me on Sunday, you're let's go.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
but
give me Cam Young.
oh, he looked awesome.
Give me Cam Young every day of the week. On my
They should
team.
have. I mean, grew up there.
And that's his home course. But like that, I mean, he for first time Ryder Cup guy, he was the best player.
You know who should have played?
Keegan Bradley.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
They might not win the Ryder Cup ever again.
That's not true.
But what would make you think that they would for the next 10 years?
Been a while.
It's been. I mean, that lost the last 2. Lost the last 3.
You don't lose,
Right?
and you're like I couldn't tell
No,
you.
they lost the last 2 because they didn't. They won at home. 2
Yeah,
years,
they it wiped
2
them, and
Huh?
you don't lose at home. Like
No,
that
right.
was the whole thing. Like
Right.
that, it goes back and forth because of the crowd. But
Right.
Americans fans were just not even good at it. We saw the video.
She got fired
Like should.
because she started the "F you Rory"
yeah.
chant.
Well, she had to do something to save her job or lose her job.
Well, she lost it. She lost it.
That was embarrassing.
But it was the last Sunday was very entertaining to watch.
Yeah, they almost. Yeah, Justin Thomas, good for you, man. Nice fist bump.
You are so negative, dude.
I
You're,
just got.
you're in a bad mood.
Just give me. Look at that.
You're in a bad
And
mood.
LSU lost.
Did you get a nap?
America lost.
You got a nap today?
I did 45 minutes. Not long enough.
That's not
But-
enough.
That's too much. 15,
I
30
know,
minutes.
it's
15
in
No,
minutes.
between.
an hour.
Hour nap.
Hour.
Hour's too much.
No. I mean, rarely do I get them. If I can get one, an hour for sure.
I can't.
Oh,
I'm
I've
not a
done
nap-
like 4.
I'm not a napper. I'm not a nap. I wish I was.
Just
but I'm
wait
not.
until. Give me 6 years, 4 years, maybe 2 years.
Whoa.
Charlie Woods, next Ryder Cup.
Charlie has. I mean, come on.
I'm just saying, whatever it's his time, it'll be his time. Then America can be back.
Okay, we'll see.
Oh, you don't believe in Charlie Woods?
I need to see him play. I mean, 2 years that's a stretch.
I mean, he's what?
He's
15?
16 years old.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna be in the Ryder Cup at 18. He ain't his dad.
They should play together like LeBron and Bronny.
Yeah, there's some video clips of Tiger on the range again.
He's clipping it.
Yeah, he is.
I saw a clip of Tiger saying that his son outdrove him not long ago. For
Yeah,
the
look,
first time.
Charlie is coming.
Have you seen
along.
him?
Yeah, look clips. I don't watch it, but I watch.
No,
the
just
highlights.
his build.
Oh yeah.
He looks like an avatar.
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
he's a big dude. So we'll see. Hopefully, I hope he is. I hope he's what everybody expects him to be, because that would be fun.
Everybody thinks he's
With Tiger on the bag. You think Tiger would
his
catch
leg
it? He can't do it
yeah,
with his
the
leg.
leg.
You're right. All right. That's all we got for you on this beautiful Monday. I'm sorry we didn't give you, huh?
Put him in a cart with the bag.
Yeah, that'd be great. That's illegal, but
Not as a caddy, right?
you can't have
It's
a
Tiger
cart.
Woods.
You can't
Can
have
we?
a cart.
Can
No.
we not?
I'm sorry we didn't give you the answers that you probably all wanted to hear. I wish we had the answers, but the answer is you gotta keep the hope, gotta keep the faith, and pray that they make the adjustments over these next 2 weeks. Pray that everybody gets healthy.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and
Thoughts and
prayers.
prayers.
Um,
The Saudis bought EA Sports for $55 billion.
Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you can't watch us and you like listening to us anywhere you get your pods, we appreciate the love and support. Jay, we appreciate you. Cameron, appreciate you as always.
Thank you for letting me have.
Anytime. Open invite. Lloyd, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. And thank you for coming. You make me smarter. You and Jared and Mikey all make me smarter.
All right.
I'm just trying to keep you off the ledge.
What do I care?
Look, next week, wait till we get to next weekend, right before the game, and the difference in his mentality.
I'll be back.
I know you will. You always come back.
I'll be healthy.
Yeah. Enjoy the Monday night doubleheader. Enjoy baseball during the day tomorrow if you partake in that type of viewership. But we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We'll be back Wednesday in studio live from 6 to 8-ish. And Ask Mikey and Mitch on Wednesday. So throw your questions on social media. Throw them in the chat. Tell me how mad you are at the Tigers, and we'll talk it through.
Paul Feinbaum considering running for Alabama's vacant Senate seat.
Him and Tuberville, huh?
They're going head-to-head. And Bruce Pearl.
Hey.
What's Tuberville now? Tuberville. What's Tuberville now?
Is he a
He's
senator or
congressman?
is he a congressman?
I think his term is done.
Oh, is he done?
Yeah.
Oh, he's out.
And that's why Bruce Pearl, they thought he was going to go run against him or take his seat. And now Paul Feinbaum wants it. He's from Tennessee. I don't know why he cosplays as an Alabama person. He went to Tennessee.
It's a crazy career advancement in the state of Alabama. Huh?
Yeah, do you think he'll get maybe he pulls a Jeff Landry and gets an elephant on the field?
That'll solve all the problems.
That's it.
How about the Tide? They look good though this week.
They did.
I know they're back.
Like
Ty
what?
Simpson looked good. He slings that
Todd
thing.
Simpson?
Ty.
I know.
He slings that thing.
Yeah,
Comes out nice.
he's healthy.
Comes out nice.
So that's scary. I think that's adding to the panic of all the LSU fans.
Yeah.
It's like,
All
what
the
is it?
Bama's burning stuff is.
Yeah, I didn't
You
see
don't,
any of
you
that.
don't hear that anymore.
You didn't see Chief Moscona?
All right. We'll see you on Wednesday. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Have a great night.